A tournament angler pulled an onion from his tackle box, rubbed it on his plastic worm, and caught 17 bass while the guy next to him went home with 2. The difference wasn't skill or expensive gear. It was a kitchen ingredient that costs 40 cents and works better than any bottled scent you'll find at Bass Pro Shops. This isn't some internet myth or clickbait nonsense. I watched it happen on Lake Fork in Texas 3 summers ago. The man who showed me this trick had been using it for 20 years and never told a soul outside his family. He said the big companies would lose their minds if everyone knew onions worked this well. After testing it myself for 2 seasons, I understand why he kept it quiet for so long. Here's what happens when onion juice hits the water. Largemouth bass have sensors along their lateral line that detect chemical changes from incredible distances. When you squeeze fresh onion onto your bait, you release sulfur compounds that mimic the scent of injured baitfish. Bass interpret this as an easy meal and they move toward it fast. It triggers the same feeding response as live shad, but it lasts 3 times longer on the lure. The science behind this goes deeper than most people realize. Onions contain amino acids that break down in water and create a scent trail bass can follow like a highway. These aren't synthetic chemicals made in a lab. They're natural attractants that bass have been programmed to hunt for millions of years. When a shad gets injured, it releases similar compounds. Your brain knows this instinctively, which is why the method works so consistently across different waters. I tested this against 4 popular bass attractants last spring on Kentucky Lake. Same lures, same locations, same weather conditions. The onion-treated baits got hits within the first 10 minutes every single time. The store-bought scents took 20 to 30 minutes, and some never got touched at all. One afternoon, I ran the test with my fishing partner using identical setups. He used a $15 bottle of synthetic attractant. I used a slice of yellow onion from the grocery store. By noon, I had 12 bass in the live well, and he had 3. You're probably wondering why nobody talks about this if it works so well. The answer comes down to money and marketing. Fishing scent companies sell millions of dollars worth of product every year. Small bottles that cost $2 to manufacture get sold for 20 or 30 bucks. If word got out that a 40-cent onion outperforms their entire product line, the industry would collapse overnight. That's not an exaggeration. I've talked to guides who refuse to share this method because they have sponsorship deals with scent companies. Tournament organizations know about it too. Some have started banning natural organic attractants because the advantage is too significant. When one angler is tripling everyone else's catch rate using something from the produce section, it makes competitions unfair. The ban itself proves how effective this really is. They wouldn't prohibit something that didn't work. What makes this especially powerful for largemouth bass is their aggressive feeding behavior. Unlike catfish or carp that take their time investigating bait, bass strike fast when they sense wounded prey. The onion scent puts them in attack mode immediately. I've had bass hit my lure on the first cast after applying fresh onion juice, not after 10 casts or 20. The first one. The preparation method matters more than most people think. You can't just toss onion chunks in your tackle box and hope for results. There's a specific way to extract and apply the juice that maximizes effectiveness. Get it wrong and you'll wonder why it didn't work. Get it right and you'll never fish without it again. The process takes 5 minutes at home and transforms every bait you own into a bass magnet that outperforms anything the tackle shop sells. Here's exactly how you prepare it. Take 1 medium yellow onion and slice it into thin rings. Put the rings in a small Ziploc bag and crush them with your hands until they're pulpy and wet. You want to release all the juice trapped inside those cells. After a minute of crushing, you'll see liquid pooling at the bottom of the bag. That liquid is pure bass attractant. Pour it into a small squeeze bottle like the ones used for eye drops or travel shampoo. This concentrated onion juice stays potent for 3 days in your tackle box, even in summer heat. Before you tie on your lure, squeeze 2 drops onto the plastic or onto your bait. That's all you need. 2 drops create a scent cloud in the water that spreads 30 feet in every direction. Bass smell it, turn toward it, and strike harder than they would on untreated bait. The key is reapplying every 4 or 5 casts because water dilutes the scent over time. Here's the part that changes everything. Most anglers using scents make one fatal mistake. They apply attractant once at the start of the day and forget about it. By the 3rd cast, there's nothing left on the lure. You're fishing blind while thinking you have an advantage. With onion juice in a squeeze bottle, you can reapply between every few casts without wasting time or money. It becomes part of your rhythm. Cast, retrieve, squeeze, cast again. That consistency keeps bass interested all morning long instead of just the first 10 minutes. The best times to use this are early morning and late evening when bass are actively feeding. During midday heat, they slow down and even the strongest scent won't pull them out of deep cover. But in low light conditions when they're already hunting, onion juice turns curiosity into commitment. I've watched bass follow a lure for several seconds before turning away. The moment I added onion scent to the same lure, they attacked it instantly. The difference isn't subtle, it's the gap between a follow and a hook set. Certain lures respond better to this treatment than others. Soft plastic worms and creature baits absorb the juice and hold it longer. Crankbaits and spinner baits work too, but you'll need to reapply more often because hard surfaces don't retain scent. Topwater lures are tricky since the onion juice disperses quickly on the surface. For those, I squeeze a drop directly into the water near where I'm casting instead of on the lure itself. It creates a scent zone the bass swim through right before the lure arrives. Storage matters if you want this to last. Keep your onion juice bottle sealed tight when not in use. Exposure to air weakens the potency faster than anything else. Some anglers freeze onion cubes in ice trays and thaw 1 cube per trip. That works too, but I prefer fresh juice made the night before fishing. The compounds are strongest within the first 72 hours after extraction. One last thing nobody mentions. Your hands will smell like onions all day. Wear cheap gloves when handling the juice or prepare to explain to everyone in the boat why you smell like a salad. It's a small price for tripling your catch rate, but it's worth knowing up front. The smell on your hands fades after washing. The memory of that bent rod and screaming drag stays with you much longer. While other anglers keep buying expensive bottles that barely work, you'll be using produce section solutions that consistently outperform everything else on the water. The next time you're at the grocery store, grab an extra onion. Not for dinner, for your tackle box. Because while everyone else is spending $20 on scents that barely work, you'll be using something that costs less than a candy bar and catches 3 times as many fish. The fishing industry built an empire on keeping simple solutions hidden. They need you buying bottles and believing there's some magic formula only they can provide. But now you know different. A yellow onion, 5 minutes of prep, and a willingness to smell like a kitchen all day. That's the real secret to putting more bass in your live well than everyone around you. The choice is yours. Keep feeding the industry or start feeding yourself with knowledge they never wanted you to have.